Hello. Alright, yo, what up? Sergeant coming at you from SGTFM with another Audiosurf showcase for you. Been a little bit. It's always been a few... There's always a few months in between. There are a few big deterrents for that, for why I don't do these too often. The first thing is I usually wait to finish editing the previous one before I do a new one, so the workload doesn't stack that way, and it takes me a while sometimes. But I finished that one a while back. The big thing this time, or like before this one, because like with the last couple streams or the last couple showcases, it's getting harder to get the songs that I want, and because there are a lot of songs that I've wanted to pull from my vast collection of physical CDs that I have, and technology has gotten in the way of that for a long time. So last time we relied on the ripped audio files that were left over from a decade or so old smartphone that I had a while back, that still had audio files on them. But this time we are completely unrestricted. We're off the rails. I scavenged? There's another word. Thrifted. Thrifted is the word I was looking for. I thrifted a old external optical disc drive from Goodwill. It was like $8 or $9. I got another cord for it because it needed dual power instead of just one USB plug. And I got it to work. The thing's from 2011, but it has been a godsend. Oh, can I reach it? Can I show them? I want to show. It might be a little dusty at the moment, but this LG portable super multi-drive, I feel like it doesn't need all of those words, but this thing is what has given us many of the songs that we're about to play today. Mwah. But yes, so tonight is a special night because I am finally able to play all the songs that I've been saying for 5 showcases now. Man, I wish I could play these, but... but no, we're here. As the title says, the wait is over. We are here. So I've got 20 songs for you tonight. A lot of them are going to be from physical CDs that I actually have. Going to be a little bit of show and tell like there was last time. As you can see, I'm pulling out all the stops for you tonight. My setup has been upgraded a little bit since last time. I was still using the HyperX Cloud Stinger headset mic last time, but I've got a whole new mic with a stand, and I've got my nice Sennheiser headphones out for you today, which are really nice because the sides are open, so I can still hear myself just fine. If for some reason I was playing like another game, like if I was playing a game on Xbox or something and had this playing in the Xbox and the reaction or the blurps were playing through my computer, I would still be able to hear the blurps just fine through it because this is open. But they're really, really nice. It's one of the 2 major brands, like recording studios and everything actually use like 2 major brands, Audio-Technicas and Sennheisers. These are Sennheisers. And they're really, really cool. No fancy controllers or anything tonight. I will be using my 8-bit Do controller that I got recently. Kind of, sort of matches the color a little bit. No? Okay. A little bit. But yeah, just know that's the setup that I'm working with. We're gonna have some silly effects like always. I've got the rainbow stuff to put around myself when the mood is right. I've got a DJ mixer for some songs, and I've got my drum set for others. And let's see. All right, so if you haven't been here before, just laying down the rules a little bit. This unfortunately isn't like an open thing. I'm not taking requests or anything at the moment. I have a dedicated list of songs that I've procured from my own personal collection. And what we're trying to do is just pair them with some really good skins from the Audiosurf 2 workshop, because there's quite a lot of impressive stuff there. Maybe not the most impressive stuff tonight, but I don't know. There could be a surprise or two and lying in wait for you. But yeah, that's basically all we're doing. You can play Audiosurf. Audiosurf 2 is kind of a magical game. You can play it a lot of crazy different ways. I'm kind of very smooth-brained about the game, or I'm used to like other music games where you actually play the instruments or something, where it's you just want to hit the notes, right? So I'm not trying to play a matching game or any of the other stuff at the moment. I'm just trying to like show you the highway and just hit the notes as they're coming is all I'm trying to do. So there aren't going to be any crazy modes, but there's a lot of current crazy skins that the wonderful people years and years ago, because Audiosurf 2 has been around a long time, in the workshop have made. I finally this time decided to take a closer look at some playtimes, because when you hover over their name in the workshop, it'll say it sometimes. I unfortunately could not see Simon Evo's playtime, and that was the big one. Damn it. But I can't remember who it was, but someone only had like 25 hours or something, and I'm sitting like from preparing for this, I've crossed 150 hours in Audiosurf 2, and that's going to keep growing with the passage of time. But it's just like you only got like 20 hours in the game. Why are you making stuff for it? But I think another mainstay, Sirgalicious, I think I checked them and they had over 1,000 hours. I'm like, that's more like it. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so a lot of wonderful people, years and years ago at this point probably, took it upon themselves to make cool shit for Audiosurf 2, and we're going to honor them by trying to put some good songs with it. It's probably going to get DMCA'd or muted at some point, but YouTube viewers, I will edit this down at a later time for you for sure. I've been doing that consistently, and I do want to keep doing that. I know how to do it now, so we get around the hurdle. If you're new to Audiosurf 2, if you're someone with epilepsy, I would definitely not recommend this, because it's very much flashing lights and all kind of stuff going on. So for your own safety, I would not recommend being here for this, as much as we would like to have you, but just for health concerns and like we don't want that to happen to you. Also, some of the songs tonight could potentially... I'll provide warnings for some songs as they come up. I'm not sure there's anything all that much subject matter-y that's troubling. That would be like triggering or anything, but I may be wrong. The biggest thing is there's going to be a lot of language warnings. One band in particular I'm going to have to warn you about, and you're just going to have to get ready. But if that thing bothers you, there's already a warning up there on Twitch, but I feel the need to do it anyway. And yeah, there might be... I don't think there are any tonight where I have to... Well, there are some variable skins. There's a couple variable skins, so I might have to reload them in some cases. But yeah, we're hitting a lot of our artist quotas tonight. It's going to be... There's going to be a lot of potentially samey stuff if you're used to the artists that I tend to play on here. I do have one new band. New as in I haven't played them on a showcase yet, but they're not that new. But there's a different band that I'm very excited to play a few songs from, because they're very fun, and I've only had physical CDs for them. So I can finally do that. But yeah, we're doing... Let's see, we're doing like 3 Andrews, we're doing 2.5 Owl Cities. You'll see what I mean later. Let's see, we've got 1 1975, we've got a couple Coldplays, 3 Keens, we 3 Keens of Oriental. I've got a Pogo and a Porter to, cause like, the genres are gonna be really similar too, so I kind of threw a Porter and a Pogo song in there to just break up the sameness as well. a couple more Forever the Sickest Kids, who I just finally played last time. And yeah, and then I think that just leaves bands that I haven't played on here yet. Starting with this first band. Although I'm pretty sure people know them. They're little indie band called Fallout Boy. But we're gonna get started with a song that a band I fully intended, and an album I fully intended to play a song from, but I wasn't planning on it being this song. So this is, gotta scroll down a little bit. There you go. So this is Thriller, the first song from the album Infinity on High, which you may know is the album that has This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race, and Thanks for the Memories on it. I tend to lean toward the other two hits, the Take Over the Breaks Over, which might still be my absolute favorite Fall Out Boy song. It's so good. And then also, like, Jesus, I'm like a lawyer with the way I'm always trying to get you off. Parentheses, me and you. It's a pretty good one too. But yeah, this is, and here's the album physically, because I do got that. But yeah, this is a really cool album. This is the one Fall Out Boy album I have physically, and just really loved it. Just a lot of good stuff on it. This opening track, despite being a lot of fun, has like just like thrashing guitar parts to introduce you to the song, and then just goes into like really delightful verses and choruses. It's really fun, but it seems to be talking about like their almost like overnight success and things like that. But it's a lot of fun. It's going to be a very explosive intro. You know, I like to do the fun intros like that. So this will be great to get us started. But yeah, I was originally going to do the Take Over the Breaks Over. I tried it with a couple highways, but it didn't really feel as great in the game. And then I figured this would be really fun, and who would have thought it is? But another thing I wanted to mention, I'm also going to be I'm going to be trying something else, because I'm not using the same headset. With the HyperX, I was able to easily just push the mic up and mute it. So for this, I might just flip the mic up and not mute it entirely, and I hope that works out. We'll be doing some trial and error tonight in a lot of ways. But for the skin tonight, I've got we're just gonna return to a classic to ease us in, get us started. Nothing unusual yet, but it is shiny. You would even say it glows. It's coloricious glowing. I think it's been a while since I've actually used it on stream. I kind of always come back to it as an option. But for this one, it's just a little too good that I kind of had to go with it. I think, I know we used it in the first session for At Night by Oliver, and then Cabin Fever by Pogo, and then we must have used it at some point after that, but it escapes me at the moment. But those were from the original showcase, if you've been around that long. But yeah, this is going to be a real fun song to get us started, get us thrashing and everything. This is by Sirgalicious, by the way, who has a very respectable amount of playtime in Audiosurf 2, and it is much appreciated. We thank them for their service. For this one, it's definitely a drums angle. I'm gonna do drums for this one. Alright. So yeah, we're doing Thriller by Fall Out Boy. It features some cameo from, I want to say Jay-Z or somebody at the beginning. Just like a talking intro or something. They're not credited in the song there, but they're there. And then we're doing Coloricious Glowing by Sirgalicious. I'm just going to lift the mic up. It's not going to be completely muted, but hopefully you guys can still hear the song and everything just fine. I'm just not trying to make a whole lot of noise while the song is playing. Let the song speak for itself and everything. But here we go. A problem I was running into with crafting this list is I felt like there are a ton of like opening tracks, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that I could potentially put at the beginning, and so it was very hard to find out what to open with and like what like the first 5 things in the collection should be. So I feel like a lot of these songs have very like get the party started vibes. To that note, let's go to our first Owl City song of the night. This one is on an album that exists called Mobile Orchestra, which came out after the album that should not be named, but we might have to name it later. But yeah, the Mobile Orchestra album was pretty interesting. Came at a specific point in my life. I was rooming with a couple friends in an apartment, and it was like had my first job after college, and it was an exciting time. There's a lot of interesting stuff on this album. Like, this is the first album, like there's an Aloe Blacc collaboration, or like Aloe Blacc's featured on a song. There's a song with Hanson, like a lot of interesting collabs. He does basically a country song with Jake Owen for the first time. Just really interesting sounds. And for some reason, out of all the songs on the Ultraviolet IP, This Isn't the End made this album, and none of the others did, for some reason. But yeah. But what we're playing, as you can tell from what I picked, we're playing Thunderstruck, which is not a cover of the AC/DC song, unfortunately. Which is a little sad, because I do like doing the Thunderstruck. It's very fun to do. They have a sound for sure. But the interesting thing about this song is in terms of like production and like the sounds used electronically, there isn't another song by Owl City that sounds like this song. This is a borderline dubstep song at times, and I don't know who's responsible for that. I tried to look into the vocal collab, Sarah Russell, but they just seem like mostly vocal oriented, so I'm not sure they had any influence on the sound of the song, but I could be wrong. I would like to think it's all Adam Young's doing, and he just decided to make a dubstep type sounding song, but it's very interesting to me, and it's like this is very much a song where it's like people that don't like Owl City, I want them to listen to this song and see if it changes their mind or just like broadens their horizon, like just like, I didn't know they did stuff like that, you know? And they kind of don't, but they did this. But I guess it's in the middle of an album that has a few different sounds and collaborations and stuff on it, and we'll get to more of that later on tonight. But this is a really cool song. I have been waiting to play it in here, and I finally can and show it off for you guys. It's so much fun. I like it a lot. It's very, very catchy, and also has opening track energy. For this one, we are going. I don't believe I've shown the skin that we're doing for this one. So this is, yeah, it's right there. But I want to show there are a few Monster Cat themed highways on the eShop, the workshop. And Monster Cat being a electronic music record label, if you don't know. Basically, they'll release, and it's very popular. Like, I've found so many artists that are like through Monster Cat and stuff. So I think they do good work. But it seems like a very important label regardless. And yeah, so someone made a bunch of these variations. Mostly what these single color ones will do, though, is like the notes on the highway are all the same color consistently, and then there's just kind of like the same background of like a supernova or something going off in the background. But with this one actually changes color. Monster Spec Alt, I guess. This one actually changes color, and it has a slightly different background that's just kind of like a starry sky, and I think I mean, like, the point of this is to find skins that go with the songs, and I think this goes with the song pretty well. I think the vibes are nice. I think Adam would be proud. But this is by Visceral. I think we've done some stuff from Visceral before, but not these Monster Cat skins. This is obviously the best one because of the color range and just in general. I think it's pretty good. So we're doing Thunderstruck by Owl City and Sarah Russell, and not AC/DC. Remember, don't get that out of your head. But yeah, here we go. Now we are returning to the 1975's long-ass album name, I Like It When You Sleep, for you are so beautiful, yet so unaware of it. There is something there, I swear. But yeah, last time I had a audio file for This Must Be My Dream that we played, and I do really like that song. I believe during that stream I mentioned something about, like, I was really hoping I had She's American on there as well to play. Well, now I have She's American, and we're gonna play it. Let me go grab it. This is... oh, God, this song just takes me back to a very specific time of my life. Because I was gifted this album when I was in a community theater group, like 2017, 2018, and so as part of the Christmas play that we did, I was basically gifted this as a Christmas gift from someone in the cast, and because like I had mentioned, I was liking what I had heard of the 1975 at the time. I was aware of Girls and Chocolate, Robbers. There's some other hit from that previous album, and then I had heard The Sound and maybe Somebody Else from this album, and I was really liking what I was hearing, but I hadn't picked up an album or anything yet, and they gave me their extra copy, or they were done with it or something, but I'm still super grateful for it. I still have it after all this time. But yeah, it would have been like very, very late, like holiday 2017 or like early 2018. I had also just bought a PlayStation 4 for myself at the time. My brother had one already, but that allowed us to do separate stuff because it was earlier that year in 2017 I had like my first real job, the one that laid me off back in October, but it had been that long, and I was trying to compare that to something, but it's lost on me now. But yeah, it was like holiday or like beginning of 2018. I had a PS4. I was playing like Battlefield 1 and like had like a Spotify playlist playing in the background because you could do that. You still can. And like a majority of this album was on the list for sure, but this one just like distinctly have the memories of playing the game and stuff with it. Same with Paris on this album as well, I think. But yeah, this one's just insanely catchy. I'd like to qualify some of the songs I'm playing tonight as illegally catchy if I can. This would be one of those. Just really, 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 really fun. The verses are a little more dramatic, and then the choruses get a little more fun. But just the riffs and everything are just so catchy. Oh my god, it's so much fun. I absolutely love this album. I found so many fun songs from it, and this one isn't even a hit or anything, to my knowledge. It's just a really cool song that I discovered on the album, along with so many others. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it too. And then, alright. And I have another new highway for you, I believe. We do have new ones tonight. I just don't know if they're going to be quite as memorable as previous ones. I went to the wrong thing. I want to go to this thing. Okay. Not you. You're later. So what we're looking for, a little unfortunate because it would have gone a little bit better with another song later in terms of like the theming of its title, but let's see. It is in here somewhere with the, like, I admittedly have too many of these, and some of these are unusable, and I should probably just unsubscribe from them. But okay. So what we're doing is Insanity, which does live up to its name a little bit and how colorful it is, or just like how active everything is. But what I really like about it is there are times where it goes completely grayscale. It's going to start like completely black and white at the beginning, and then there's a breakdown toward closer to the end of the song where it does it again. And like looking at the album art over there, I just like, and how it likens to that, and I was just like, yes, you're the one. And catchy if you can. Yes, we'll see. But yeah, and then this is by Min Geeter. I hope that's not a slur of some kind, disguised or something, but this is a cool skin, so thank you. I don't know if your name has come up before, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, so we're doing She's American by the 1975, one of my favorite 1975 songs, honestly. It's just so goddamn fun, and I really hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Oh my god, speaking of really good stuff and illegally catchy, it's time for some Coldplay and the song that I have been waiting to play for you guys. This technically became a hit off of the Milo Gelato album that has, if you're not familiar with it, it's the album that has Every Teardrop is a Waterfall. What's the actual... Paradise... Wasn't there another hit? I thought there was another, like, more recognizable hit. I think Charlie Brown eventually became a hit as well. And maybe Princess of China. I thought there was something else. I might be confusing it with the later album that also has rainbow colors. But, yeah, Milo Gelato is a really cool album. So, a little backstory on my my Coldplay history, because I don't know, have we played anything from them before? Maybe last time something got in that I had. I don't remember, but I do primarily have CDs for them. It took me a little bit to get like on the Coldplay bandwagon, but the X and Y album was the one that did it. Specifically, Hearing Speed of Sound was the song that did it for me. I was like, okay, I like this band now. That one was good enough. And then the whole X and Y album is still, although apparently there was some like behind the scenes trouble with making it back at the time, but I like listen to X and Y these days, and it's just a brilliant album. Just so, it's the easiest to listen to, I would say, because just all the songs are just knockouts. There's just so much good shit on there. It's crazy, and just like, it doesn't do the thing that some other albums do, where they try to fit like 2 songs into one track and stuff like that, or they have like weird different outros and stuff. It's just like the song, like a song standing on its own merit, and then another song plays that's also like as good. But yeah. So like X and Y is really good. The first Coldplay album that I got, and like probably the height of when I was insanely into them, was the Viva La Vida era though. I don't think I'm playing any Viva La Vida songs tonight because unfortunately they fall under that category that I mentioned, but there's still a lot of really good stuff on Viva La Vida. I also really like the Prospects March EP, which iTunes has forgotten that I own, but I definitely own it. There was definitely something I could have pulled from that, but yeah. I actually saw them in concert in New Orleans when they were doing the Viva La Vida tour. I dropped the CD one moment. I still have the shirt back there in my closet for it. It's looking a little worse for wear because it's been a while. But I still think that was the absolute best live show I've ever seen. From a single artist, potentially. It just was a really fucking good show. They were just so goddamn funny, and I wasn't expecting it. Like, half the time he was ripping on one of the other people. Like, I forget which member of the band, but he's just like, and I know you don't like to talk in front of other people, which means you chose the wrong profession and stuff like that. And then, Chris Martin came out and did a song by himself, and he's like, I'm gonna do the Justin Timberlake after leaving NSYNC moment for... So, and there was a part where they just came around to, like, and played, like, around people in the audience and stuff, and just... Which I think now, after being more experienced with watching some other artists and stuff, is just a UK thing. Or, like, a British thing. I think British artists just do that. Because I think Keane does it too, and I'm going to mention that a little bit later. Next song, even, potentially? Yeah, okay. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, anyway, like, I absolutely loved the Viva La Vida era. I think they did Strawberry Swing, and it felt like I was the only person singing along in that entire stadium, which was quite an experience. But I really like Strawberry Swing. It's a slower one, but I've been surprised by some in here before. I wonder if Strawberry Swing would be a good one. I might have to try that sometime. But yeah, I got Milo Gelato, and it's a bit of a weird album in places, but it also has a lot of good stuff on it too. So first off, Every Teardrop is a Waterfall I absolutely adore. It's really good. But I think this might be the biggest takeaway from the album, and it's like the start of it. There's just an ambient opening track to the album just called Milo Gelato, and it leads directly into Hurts Like Heaven. So when we just play Hurts Like Heaven, it's going to be 0 to 100 immediately. But it was just such a good first impression, and I'm not sure the rest of the album lived up to it, because this song is fucking immaculately crafted. Everything has a super addictive and catchy break or riff or something. Like, every single part of the goddamn song is stuck in my head forever, and you need to understand that. But I think this did eventually become a hit on the album. I think it was a unique case where, like, I had heard it on the album first, and then, like, they released a music video and stuff for it. I'm like, oh, cool. But then I watched the video, and they absolutely butchered the song with edits. It is not the same. Like, I think I told you guys about that. She's a Lady, Forever the Sickest Kids had a similar situation where just the music video just butchered it. So if you're getting exposed to the song that way and you didn't like it, I don't blame you. But this is the album version of the song, and it is immaculate, I think. Just one of the catchiest things to ever fucking exist. And I think it's fantastic. But yeah, a few pretty good things on this album, though. I'm just not sure. There's like a lot of high highs and like pretty low lows, I think. But it's been a while since I've listened to it in its entirety. But I do think it's really hard to top X and Y for me personally. But anyway, I rambled way too long about that song. For this one, I found a skin. So again, it's another new skin, so we're doing pretty well there. And it's pretty damn close to like the kind of things I picture when I'm listening to the song, or at least like the colors. If you like picture certain colors or moods or something when you're listening to the song, this is about as close as we can probably get. Bright Lights, it's called. It's that picture's a little misleading. It does have like pink notes and purple notes, I think, which are decent. But it's got like a kind of like a dark blue, like starry sky, and it's got like black clouds, which is interesting. But it's really, really close to the vibe that the song gives. And but this is a really cool song. It's going to be 0 to 100 really, really fast, and every single millisecond of the song is immaculately crafted and catchy. And and this is by Blaster Shy, which it sounds like maybe one of the My Little Pony characters got in a boomer shooter or something, if that's the intention. But yeah, this was oddly enough exactly what I was looking for this song, so thank you, Blaster Shy. There's a skin that I've had for a really long time, and I have been trying to find something good with it. And it's taken a while. But I finally found it. It's not anything blue marble tier, but it is pretty neat. It is pretty neat and unusual. It's normally at the bottom here, yes. The Arles theme? The Arles theme. Or it's a capital I for some reason, the Ariel. But basically the whole thing looks like a Van Gogh, pretty sure it's a Van Gogh-esque painting type world. And it's really, really cool. It's not the most polished thing you've seen probably, but it's still pretty cool for what it is. And then the song I found to go with this. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. The song I found to go with this, I was about to go into my music, which is a whole rabbit hole we don't want to go down because it's over here. Not that one. This one. So The Frog Prince from Keen's Under the Iron Sea album, which I actually don't have this album physically, I got it digitally. And way after the fact. This was an album I kind of skipped over. I was, of course, a fan of Hopes and Fears, Something Only We Know, Bed Shaped, Everybody's Changing, and all that. That was a good album. I kind of skipped ahead to Perfect Symmetry because it seemed a little more interesting. Even that took a while. Like, Spiraling was interesting, but The Lovers Are Losing, I think, was the big one that got me to give that album a try. And there were some interesting things to find on that album. We're going to get to one later on. I mean, with this album, I was, of course, familiar with Is It Any Wonder, which is another big hit for them, it's kind of just whatever to me. It's not really huge. There was another song on the album called Crystal Ball that I was familiar with, and I did really like that one, but I still didn't really feel the urge to get the full album, or even listen to it, even. But with what I did, or like when I started doing remote work, there was a time, I think it was a little after it, but getting a ways into remote work, so like 2020, 2021 or so, I was looking into more like entertainment options and stuff like that. I was setting up like a little entertainment system in my room to like watch things or listen to music or something on the side between calls at work and stuff like that. And a thing I came to realize that I wanted is I kind of wanted some more like live music concerts, just in like DVD or some kind of form like that. So I ended up getting a few, and I found one for Keen, which was actually it ended up being the best like time and like setting for when the concert took place, because at the time Under the Iron Sea was the newest album. So it was they basically just had this album and Hopes and Fears to pull stuff from, and it was just so great for getting acquainted with the album and like how they showed off certain songs. And I mentioned earlier that I think what Coldplay did during the concert, where they go out in the crowd, is just a UK thing, because Keen did it in this same concert that I have. I have the DVD back in there somewhere. I have a whole shelf of some of them, and along with some other things. I do have a Coldplay concert as well, and a bunch of other fun ones. And just like, even though like I get some for artists I've even seen live and stuff, but I get them at like different periods where I wanted to see them, because like the Coldplay one is it's from the album after Milo Gelato, that has it's like the whole Butterfly package or whatever, that has like a documentary and everything included in it. It's like documentary, live audio CD, live DVD, and I think one other thing. But that was good too, because I was less familiar with some extra stuff from Ghost Stories and the newest album at the time. But it had their newest album had like Adventure of a Lifetime and Up and Up and stuff. It was that album that they were showing off. So before the Music of the Spheres, it was kind of like when they did the Super Bowl type period is actually when it was. And it was great to get acquainted with some of those songs too. So it was like, even though I had seen them earlier on, it was great to see later. They do have one from around the time of Milo Gelato, and I need to see them do Hurts Like Heaven live, so I absolutely need to get that at some point. But yeah, so when Keen went out into the audience, they had a stage extension thing that was just like way out, and it's like a great big little like path you walk along that's elevated, and then there's like a circular area where they went over and they had like some instruments set up and stuff out there. So they went and performed there, and it just made it a little more personal. There was like some little hanging light or something over them. And this was the song that they played. It was a little more acoustic oriented than this one is, but it just really let the like lyrics of the song really shine, I think, and just like the personality of the song, I think, or rather how personal the song is. And it's just really, and this is, I don't know, Keen is generally pretty damn good with imagery. They're really good with existential conflicts, I'll tell you that. It works for some creative juices and stuff, but this one really gets the juices going. It's playing on like fairy tales and stuff, and it's just really, really colorful lyrics and just really imaginative, I think. But yeah, the live concert really helped me appreciate this album as a whole. There's a lot of good stuff on it, actually. And we're gonna get to more of that later. So, but yeah, this is a really neat song. I really like the imagery in it, or the imaginative, the fairy tale-esque nature of it. And we're gonna do the Arle theme, which isn't necessarily fairy tale pilled, but it's like Van Gogh painting, and I think it works very well. And I thought this skin was by Simon Evo, but it is actually by Ferenc604. So I'm sorry for almost giving someone else credit for that, but I did do my research and looked up. So thank you so much, Ferenc. I've had this one. I've been subscribed to this one for a while in the Steam Workshop, and I finally have a song that goes with it. And if they somehow see this, I hope they appreciate the connection as well. Oh, I do kind of like this transition, because that kind of faded out and is generally a peaceful song as well. But we're going into our Pogo song tonight, because I do admit that these songs are a little samey when it comes to genres and stuff. Although, no, don't, spoilers, don't look, okay. Yeah, this one, I've had this Pogo song for a while, and I really, really love it. And it falls into that territory because, like, the others are plunderphonics, and I know what they're sampling, and so I almost like it because it's sampling this. But this one is an interesting case because I still don't know what it's sampling, and so it kind of just gets to stay a really cool song. But it's more like, I don't know if ambient is right, but it's just more like a lo-fi type vibe. And it's just very, very interesting. Like the word, the vocals chosen or sampled, and what they say. I don't know. But it's really cool. So No Worries by Pogo, and then for this one is by Simon Evo. I've had this Bote skin, which is kind of. It doesn't, if you know me, you know I'm fond of songs like, or the skins like transforming or reacting a lot. And this one kind of doesn't. It's kind of just like running through a barren landscape, and every now and then there's a tunnel, but it's semi-interesting. And this song is just kind of like low and vibey, and I think it kind of works. So, but yeah, this skin is definitely by Simon Evo, the first of the night. They're an all-timer. But, yeah. It's just a really interesting song. Name would make you think Lion King. Yeah, I know, I don't think it's Lion King at all. I'm just not sure what it is. It could just be some movie that I just don't know yet. There are some other remixes that he's done that I know, like I've seen him play like parts of the movie or something while it's going, and I'm just like, I don't know what that is, but okay, cool. Still like the song anyway, but I don't know. I almost don't want to find out, but I probably should, because there are two kinds of people. Like the last time I played Pogo stuff, I think I mentioned this, but there are two kinds of people when it comes to plunderphonic stuff. So there's, because originally how I found out about Pogo was my brother actually found one, a song called Strangerous, which I did play in the very first showcase, and he just kind of liked the random words that didn't make sense, and like didn't really understand what was happening, but I looked into it further and was like, oh, it's Stranger Things plunderphonics, that's neat. And I told him about it, and then he kind of was less interested in the song at that point. And meanwhile, I have a lot of Pogo stuff, and I just like plunderphonics in general a whole lot. I haven't gotten into it recently. I was more, like SoundCloud was really good for that, and I haven't been in my SoundCloud account in like a year. And I really need to, I'm like scared to try and get it back, because I'm not sure I know the password, but I need to. I need to figure that out eventually, but yeah, I'm behind on my plunderphonic stuff, but this is one that I found in the original Pogo research, and it's just really, really cool. I like it a lot. And the album it's on is called Kindred Shadow, too. It's just like, wow! How cool can you sound, man? But yeah, I don't think it's Lion King or like anything that I know, but it's just like really cool words, the ones you can identify as words. Also the drop is something about getting the ball back. I don't know what that's about. Might be in the movie that I don't know, but yeah, this is this skin's more of like a thinker. I don't know if it's all that visual. Like the end thing that we're running towards is very like, oh, interesting. And like that's another reason why it kind of fits with this song. But this one's just kind of like very soft and low and vibey. But yeah, this is No Worries by Pogo. I don't think Pogo means no worries for the rest of your days. Not a problem for E-Philosophy. Hackna, Matata. Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, I kind of get my methodology here. So, because the Frog Prince kind of broke down, and then we have that like low vibey song, and then we have a song that like starts out kind of just words, and eventually becomes much more than that. Do you guys remember the band Safety Suit? They may or may not still be doing stuff. Someone played this, cool. That's awesome. Because this isn't even a hit, but this is from the album. They had a few big hits, Someone Like You and Stay, I believe. And I think Find a Way eventually. Safety Suit was popular back in the 2000s. They had this album Life Left to Go with Someone Like You, Stay, and Find a Way, I think were all big hits. This is an extra song that I found on the album called Annie, and it's just kind of positive stuff. There was this girl that I knew, she was in her head a little too much, and he was just like trying to tell her, hey, fuck that noise. You're perfect just the way you are. But Billy Joel said that already, so he couldn't say that. Is there maybe like a more intelligent way to go about this? Sure, but it's nice for what it is, I think. And yeah, I have not paid much attention to Safety Suit after this album, but I do have this album. And I like quite a lot of things from it. Let's see. Yeah, I'd almost listen to this entire album. It's pretty nice. And then Life Left to Go, the track at the end, is very, very interesting, very mellow. I almost want to try it at a later time because it's really, really cool. I don't know if it's the kind of thing that this game would enjoy or would react well to particularly, but it could be really cool to play with. I really like listening to it. But yeah, I really liked them back in the day, and they dropped off pretty quick, but I do still have and really like this album. And this is a fun, positive song that you hopefully enjoy. For this one, man, we're still doing new skins. I didn't realize I did this well with the new skins. So we're doing... So I had another Blackout that was black and white that I used back for the new album 1975 stuff a few sessions But there's another blackout, and it has a little bit of color, but it generally stays pretty dark, and I think it's better suited for like rock-oriented songs like this. So if you're looking for something that reacts well but not like too much, I think this is a pretty good skin. And this is by Shook. Shake 'em. Not stirred, I suppose. But thank you, Shook. This one's pretty good for like harder, like rock alternative stuff. All right, and we're doing Annie by Safety Suit, back into the 2000s. Oh, all right. Now it's time to get to the real star of the show tonight, and that is the band. Where's my cursor? Okay, nope, not that one. That is the band Say Anything, which I have a couple physical CDs from them, and I'm so excited to show them to you if you have never heard them before. Although maybe you've heard some of their stuff, like Alive with the Glory of Love is probably popular enough that you probably heard that. They have a lot more raunchy stuff. Like, this is very much like my angsty teen artist band that I listened to for those purposes, but like listening to a lot of the stuff today, it still holds up. It's just so entertaining, and they do a lot of surprising things in their songs. I think personally they're just so interesting to listen to. Vocally very descriptive too. I wouldn't describe the guy as like the best singer, but like a lot of it is like spoken word stuff almost, and he's very like confident with his voice and how that comes in. But it's yeah, they're just a fantastic band. This album, Is a Real Boy, is the one that has Alive with the Glory of Love on it, and just so much other great stuff. It's a fantastic album. I figure rather than easing you in, I think I'm just gonna drop you into the deep end of raunchy Say Anything songs and just let you experience that. So here's a side track on Is a Real Boy called The Feudal, which great big rant song, pretty much. A lot of fun stuff in it. Very, very, very fun song. Very, very teenage angst, though, I would say. If you find that cringy. Also, language warning, by the way. pretty much every Say Anything song, probably. Although maybe not one from the other album a little bit later. But yeah, they're pretty. If nothing else is in this stream, Say Anything's probably the triggering artist. But yeah, I had this album, absolutely loved it, still kind of love it. Used to, like, I learned to play this shit on the drums, and like, it was so much fun. So entertaining to listen to. I had a really diabolical idea for this originally, because I did find, where is it? I found a dynamic Disney skin for this game that just has it kind of like generic Highway, but we'll put like random images from Disney stuff in the background. And I mean, like, knowing the kind of stuff that I play on these showcases, sometimes I could probably find something actually fitting, but I thought it was, like, I was running this for a long time and like thought this would be hilarious to do. I did find something better, though, I think. Better suited to the song. It is not down here. Where am I looking? Where? There it is. Alright. So this is called Bear Escape. I've had this for a little bit. Basically, we're running bear, or a someone in a mascot costume, perhaps, but would all the notes are picnic baskets, and every time the highway clears or times out, there's a bear roar. So we can have fun with that. I've tested it out a couple times, and it's surprisingly not that distracting to the song, I don't think. Also, I do have the sound lowered on it, so hopefully you can still hear the song over the roars anyway. But I don't think they come at overly distracting times. But it's not a very polished skin, but I think it's like this is a very appropriate type of song to do it with, I think. Also, the colors, or well, I was going to say the colors are relevant, but I tested it out, and I think actually this uses album art colors as well. So you have some variety that way, if you want to escape as bears more often. Oh, and I'm top score on this. Excellent. And other people have played this, but this is really old. So I would hope so. But this skin is by Lunzide. That's an L or maybe a capital I at the beginning. I'm not sure. Unzyde. So thank you very much for this one. This one's very entertaining. So yes, let's try to capture our innermost 2000s teenage angst as we play the feudal by Say Anything. Got a little bit of the angst out of our system, and now we're just back to 2000s stuff. So, oh, I didn't do show and tell for the album. I meant to. Here it is. Pinocchio imagery, and then the discs themselves are actually pretty cool. I meant to show this. They're like saw blades. He's been in the wood chipper or something. But they look really cool. I'm sorry the light isn't on them all that well, but they're pretty nice. And there is a second disc with, it's not as expansive as the other album though. It does have a few extra songs, and a couple of them are pretty fun. Okay, so we're back to Forever the Sickest Kids, which I did play a song from them last time, Whoa, Me Versus Everyone, from this same album, Underdog Alma Mater, which is the only album I have from them. Another artist that I was really into and really enjoyed one album, and then I just decided to never look into them again, and I'm not really sure why. They did a cover of We Found Love in a Hopeless Place for some Now That's What I Call Music thing at some point, I think. And possibly a cover of Will Smith's Men in Black. I don't know. They're crazy, but they're kind of like the epitome of like 2000s pop punk to me. Like the riffs and everything, like their sound overall is just so like Metro Station. It's like so in that category. It's just, oh yeah, this is from a certain period in time. But yeah, I have always liked their album art here. They're all like mascots and stuff, and just like the like coat of arms logo and stuff like that. It's fun. There's like, wait, I'm looking on the back. There's 6 people in the band. Wow. Okay. But yeah, and we kind of got this a little bit with Whoa, Me Versus Everyone last time, but I think in a few really good cases, what Forever the Sickest Kids really excelled at this point in time is like they have a really solid foundation for their song, like really catchy riffs and really good sound, and everything, like for the beginning of a song, and then you get to like the midsection after the second chorus, and it breaks down, and it transcends and lifts this whole song up a little bit, or like reinforms the song when it goes back into the chorus later. And we got it a little bit with that one, but I think the two that we're doing tonight are the absolute best examples of it. So for one here, The Way She Moves is a really, really good job at that. And fun fact, this was a song that I kind of forgot existed. But in ripping the albums, I re-listened to this song, and memory, like we've been talking about songs that send you back to specific periods in time. Like this one, I like regained the memories of an entire different person almost, of back when I was in high school listening to this album. I learned to play this entire song on the drums, and like the drum parts were coming back to me, and it's like, oh my god. I connected with an older part of myself. Or like a younger part of myself, but older in that they're from the past. But it was really special to reconnect with that. And this is a really cool song. As I mentioned, the keep an eye out, or an ear out, I guess, for the like transcendent midsection. And when it comes back into the chorus and stuff after, the song is like it's like the song will never be the same again. Like this was just like a fun thing at the beginning, and now it's something more. And I feel like I get that with this, and with the one that we're going to play later as well. I found an inner child, something like that. Yeah, it was a special experience. And here's hoping that this piece of 2000s pop punk will awaken an inner child inside all of you, potentially. But yeah, for this one, the streak of... Man, I had a streak of like 7 new skins. That's crazy, but the streak is broken now. This is one I had a tough time with. For a long time, I had it sitting on... Where is it? Yeah, I had it sitting on Stargazers for a while, which we originally used for I'm Back to Rise by Mick Gordon back in the first showcase. And then last showcase we used it on Tattoo by Jason Derulo. He says the name in all his songs, and I almost forgot it. I almost spaced on the name. How could I do that? But yeah, I didn't want to use it because we just used it last time. But I was on that for a while, but then I tried it with Synthwave, which it's been a little longer since we used. I know in the first showcase I used it for Sunset by The Midnight, as well as Moving Up in the World by DA Games. Really liked it for those. It's one that I kind of always consider. Like, there's always at least one song where I'm like, let's try it on Synthwave, see if it works. It's kind of always in that rotation. It's a really, really good looking skin. I've always really liked it. But it doesn't quite make it all the time, but I think it's better than what we were getting with Stargazers a little bit. Very expressive with the song. It's got like the wireframe stuff on the sides that reacts really well with the hi-hat hits and everything. So it does a good job. It's very much participating in what the song is doing, and the colors are, forget about it. The colors are so vibrant and incredible the whole time through. And this is by... this is a 2-person collab, Classified and Lasser Lawrence. We've had some stuff by them before, but we've also used this before. Thank you two so much for this awesome skin. I love this one so much. It's one of my absolute favorites. But yeah. I'm also coming to realize, like, I've kind of had the idea for a while that I should really try and make stuff in Audiosurf too. I am definitely passionate enough about it. There are people with far less playtime than me who have made shit, and so I'm like, why can't I do it? I just haven't taken the time to look into it more, but I would absolutely love to do that. Imagine like a whole showcase where it's like, I made all of these skins myself. Fuck everyone else. That would be amazing. That's probably like the absolute climax of where we're headed. I don't know. But it would be magical, I think, to figure that out. I don't know how intensive it is. I don't know where you get like the developer kits or whatever, but it could just be a Google search. Alright, time to break up all this 2000s bullshit real quick with some Porter Robinson. It's kind of a crime how little of, how few songs from the Nurture era I've played on these showcases, when it is my favorite era of Porter Robinson. Just so, like, validated being into the artist so much, because, like, if you haven't heard before, like, I wasn't a fan of electronic music until, like, well, I liked Owl City's Ocean Eyes album, but that was kind of different. Like, I'm talking, like, actual electronic dance music I was not really into at all until Porter Robinson's Worlds album. Specifically, I heard Sad Machine, and it changed my life, because it taught me that electronic dance, like, music in that genre can still be beautiful. And gorgeous, even. Transcendent, even. Especially. I don't know. But, yeah, and so I really loved a few songs from Worlds, and then, like, when the new album was coming out, like, Get Your Wish released as a single, and it's like, holy shit, Something Comforting released, and it's like, oh shit, Mirror released, it's like, oh shit, and, like, it was hanging on every single song, and just, the album was immaculate, and just, I was so into it, and the whole message just, like, being about the creative process itself, essentially, which this song Musician is especially testament to. Just, I don't know, with how, like, personal it all, I mean, to a degree, I think Porter stuff is always pretty personal. But this album was just so great, and it just validated the weight and everything. Just, there was so much hype behind it. Like, I've talked about, that Jack's Mannequin, the Glass Passenger album last time, that I hyped up so incredibly, and I don't think it lived up to the hype necessarily. I think it's my least favorite of the 3 Jack's Mannequin albums, but there was so much hype behind it, and it was worth it. It's an amazing album, an amazing experience. It was so great to be, like, there when it was happening, when every track was dropping. I didn't get to see one of his actual concerts, but I did see him at Decadence, 2022 into 2023, I believe. And it was, like, right at the end of, it was right at the end of his, of the, Nurture era, and because he was still doing those songs, and he had Everything Goes On, that song he did for League of Legends, out as well, which was also incredible. I played that in the first showcase. But yeah, I think a lot of what I've been doing for Porter on here has been basically, I played stuff from Worlds in the first showcase, and then I played Everything Goes On, and then eventually down the road it became about his new album, which is also good, but just not quite there, but it's still enough to retain my attention, and I was concerned that he was going to start dropping off incredibly, but no, I found plenty to keep me invested in the Smile album. So I'm still there, but I do think the Nurture era is where the height of everything was, until the next one, perhaps. We'll see. But he's just a very interesting artist, and just opened me up to an entire genre, an entire world, I guess you could say. And he's just very interesting. And this song is probably the most, I don't know if I would call it the best, but I'm always in a mood to listen to it. And it's probably the most relatable off of this album. I can very much relate to it as a someone who attempts to do musician things every now and then, but just like some fun lines in there. It's like, how do you do music? Well, it's easy. You just face your fears and become your heroes. I don't understand why you're freaking out. But yeah. I did learn something from the girl who slept 100 years. Now I know what you mean by that. I thought you were saying something about the previous song for a second, but it's like, no, I get what you're saying there. I get what you're saying there. But yeah, like I wasn't all that big on Virtual Self at first either, but I found I just like every other Virtual Self song aside from Ghost Stories. Or Ghost Voices, sorry. You know, the popular one that almost won a Grammy. Every other Virtual Self song is good, but there's even like another version of Ghost Voices called Angel Voices, and I like that more. But yeah, I've played Virtual Self on here before. I just feel like I just feel like the Nurture songs have gotten lost in the shuffle here, and so to alleviate the samey music out of it, we get some interesting Porter song in there to break things up a little bit. Okay. And then for this one, a skin I've similarly had for a little bit. It almost got in for Amy I by Jack's Mannequin last time, but another skin barely beat it out. But we're doing Palette. This is one of those ones that has a lot of variations to it, but there's always something off about the color scheme and stuff to it. It's bright, it's colorful, but it always gives a tone of like something's not right, and I think it oddly fits the song in that aspect, because the song does deal with like burnout and stuff a little bit too. And so I think it's, and like how some of the sounds and stuff are distorted to such a degree, I think the off or the skewed color schemes make a lot of sense. I may have to reload this one a few times to get a correct one, because it can look wildly different at times. But it's a pretty cool one. If you're looking for something out of the ordinary, this probably fits the bill for you. And this is by Solar Aaron. So thanks so much, Solar Aaron. This is a neat one. But yeah, get ready for some Musician by Porter Robinson. It is now time for Black Burning Heart, which people have played, but this album's from like 2008 and was semi-popular, I think. But yeah, so this is from Perfect Symmetry. Last time we played, so last showcase we did another song from Keen's Perfect Symmetry album. We did. I thought I forgot to show another album for a second, but no, we're good. We did Better Than This, which is a very weird song because it's got like a banjo part or something. It was interesting. It was interesting. We found a good skin for it though, and like this one. I think there are a lot of songs like that on Perfect Symmetry that are like, this song would be good, but like there's something weird or off about it that you don't necessarily vibe with. I think this song is not one of those. This song just kind of came to me so naturally. Like I just listened to it and I was like, I'm in. You son of a bitch. Just really, really good stuff. If anything, maybe the verses are a little uninteresting. Or but I don't know. When it gets to the chorus that soars and like especially like the midsection part is incredible. And just like the piano is really good in it. It's really good. It's a little synthy actually, because they were trying stuff this album instead of just doing the piano roll in every other song and Under the Iron Sea. But yeah. But this one's really good. This is kind of the one. Well, I technically could have played it last time because I did get the audio file for it, but I chose to do better than this instead, and I waited. And now I have the CD rip. Oh, by the way, for all these, I did go the extra mile to make sure these album arts are correct, so we don't run into an issue like last time. But for some reason, when iTunes got the album art for these, that did not work in Audiosurf 2. So I had to go get all of these album covers myself and replace what iTunes got in the iTunes app with the image files of the album so they would show up in here. So I went the extra mile for you. You're welcome. So we don't get another Tom Sawyer or like World Hideaway situation, I think was the album art we were getting on most things. But no, we're doing all legit album art tonight. So to enhance the experience a little bit. We are officially halfway as well with the showcase. It's taken this long. Dear God. But yeah, this is a really good song. Also kind of always in my head, really good parts to it. The midsection especially, I think is great. Really good stuff. I'm excited to play it. We're doing a deep cut this time, I think, because I'm bringing back a skin I've only used once. We're going back to Neon Vector, which I only used once. I want to say like the second or third showcase we did Gonna Be Good by Madian on this skin, and it was like a transcendent experience, as I feel that song deserves. And it works really well for Black Burning Heart too. I think there's a sort of like pulse to it with the lines in between the tracks on the skin, and the light just like pulses between it when something interesting happens, and just it moves throughout the song, and we do eventually get that kind of like white heavenly glow past the blue at parts. And this is a really nice skin. I just haven't used it as much as I should. I'm kind of reserving it for special occasions almost at this point, but I feel it works here. And for this was made by another collaboration with Classified, but this time it's Classified and Simon Evo, so he can take partial credit for this one, I think. But thanks so much, you two. This one's really, really cool, actually. But yeah, here we go. This is Black Burning Heart by Keen. Kind of some 80s vibes almost, but it's another 2000 song, so, you know. Alright. Yeah, no one else is gonna play this. Which is a real shame. So this album, I forgot to show Perfect Symmetry, but I think it's okay because I showed it last time. So this is from the other Say Anything album I have, which is the one after Is a Real Boy. Let me switch to OBS so I can make sure it's in camera. In Defense of the Genre, which has fun theming. It has, dear God, it has like 27 tracks in it, because it's 2 discs. And it's got this really fun theming of like a battle between like old and new. Like one of the albums is on the discs, you got a little baby on there with a knife. And then does it open this way? Yeah. And then you got an old guy with a mace. I'm not sure if those parallels hold up, like if the second half is more traditional or anything, but it's a cool concept, and there's just so much to absorb from here. I think the song that originally drew me to Say Anything was actually Shiksa parentheses girlfriend, which is on disc 1 of this. I remember watching or finding that video on Fuse years and years ago, because I did used to watch that, and it like changed my life and my musical taste back in the early 2000s. And then I tried to keep it going, and I want to say Anything was one of the last bands that I found from there. But yeah, this is a very interesting album. A lot of really interesting stuff on here. Just so much surprising stuff. You just like never know what they're gonna say or what they're gonna do musically. And it's just like a band that's legitimately surprising at times. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but and just like it surprises you with like, there are situations where it's like you can almost, it's like this song is almost like this, and if it were like that, I would really like the song, but I guess I'll listen to it. Or there are parts where it's like, maybe there are parts that you don't like all that much, but then the rest of the song is like really, really good, and then it's like, okay. It's a bit of a conflict sometimes, but it's ultimately a fascinating one. And this song is a very good example of that. So as you can see, it's called No Soul. After listening to the Feudal, especially, I think the verses you're gonna feel right at home, and then the thing that really grabbed me is just like the chorus kind of grabbed me out of nowhere. It's so different. You're not expecting what the chorus does in this song. It's so interesting to me, and the overall sound of the song is just pretty fucking good, I think. I'd even say it's one of my favorite Say Anything songs, and it gets bonus points because it's not a hit or anything. I mean, that album did have a couple good hits, like I like Shiksa Girlfriend a lot, as I mentioned. That was the song that like got me into Say Anything, I think. And then Baby Girl, I'm a Blur is interesting. I think that was another hit. That was kind of like, it sounds like a Oh They Sold Out song, but I think that they did that intentionally. I think it's like a parody type. Like they would do something like that. They seem crazy like that. I talk like I really know the artist well, but I really don't. I got these 2 albums, and then I think he married a girl and like converted to Christianity or something, and then nothing really after this had the same edge. But that was an opinion that I think I heard like 15 years ago at this point. So who knows how valid it is. There was an album after this that has a song called Hate Everyone, I think. That's also, that I also enjoy. I did not get that album though. But a lot of interesting stuff on this. This album, I want to like listen to this entire thing over again. All like 27 songs with new perspective, because it's been so long since I've done it. If I even did it, I vaguely recall listening to the whole first album, definitely, but I vaguely recall losing interest into the second one a bit. I'm not sure I finished it, but I would love to check it out again, because it's just such interesting stuff to listen to. You just never know what's going to happen. And this song's really, really good. I really enjoy it. Another one that's... Is it always... I don't know if it's always in my head, but I really do like it a whole lot. We're going back to New Skins for a little bit. Exciting. So for this one, yeah, it's up here because I did it recently. We got this one called Flash Drive, and it do be flashy. No, this another reason we're playing it tonight is this skin especially has a field day with this song. It goes absolutely like the chorus is a bit of a breakdown. Like it's not as hard as the verses are, but if anything, the song goes even hard, or the skin goes even harder. during that, and it's like once you see it, it's like, yeah, this is the right skin for it. I also like the off colors too. There's a lot of like greens and golds and purples, kind of like Mardi Gras-ish. It's not really, but it's something like witches. I think I literally have this in a Halloween playlist, although I don't think anything directly relates to it. There's a lot of like animal analogy in places. And he's kind of just describing like kind of despicable people at times too, which could vaguely Halloween vibes, and just like the overall like menacing nature of it. Oh, they also talk about cursing people, so that was probably the reason why I did that. But yeah, so if that tells you anything, I have this in a Halloween playlist, and yeah, this skin is by Kite. That's Kaight. I believe we've done stuff with them before. Thank you so much, Kite. This one is amazing, actually. It's crazy how much this skin does with this song, honestly. It's a treat. So, I could maybe do drums for this one. I think I'm just gonna not. I think I'm gonna let the song speak for itself. In defense of this song, which is in defense of the genre. But here we go. Say Anything with No Soul. Strap in. Another weird thing, though, is, so that middle's, like, when the girl started saying, you know very well what you are, don't let them write you off, you wear your scars, I had a few, but not that many, you're the only one who gives me good and plenty. I have heard a Halsey song, I think it's called New Americana, that has that same midsection. I don't know what the story is behind that, but it's the same fucking lyrics. I don't know what's going on there. But that seems to come out of nowhere too, and almost seems to be subject matter from a different song, and that's fucking why. That was the angst and edge you were looking for? Nice. Alright. I fucking love that song. There is one more Say Anything song later, and I hope it is the most angsty of all. So stay tuned for that. Alright, we're almost getting to the 3/4 mark. Alright, so we're going from that really fascinating song into perhaps the most magical thing to ever happen in music, specifically for me. So we played some Something Corporate in the last showcase. In 2010, they released a greatest hits album called Played in Space. Because in 2006, they played the song that we played in the last showcase, The Astronaut, for actual astronauts up in space as a wake-up call. How cool? So, that's not even the cool thing. But how cool is that? That's awesome. But, so it was kind of like an amalgamation of their albums and things like that. It came with a second disc with a bunch of like new recordings, a new song even, which I could even play at a later time because it's pretty good. And some previously unreleased songs like Constantine, which is a really big deal, and for some reason wasn't on like an actual US released or like it wasn't released in the US before, which is weird. You're a US based band, put the song out in your country, you know? But among other things, there was a remix of I Woke Up in a Car, which I mentioned before is probably their song that best stands the test of time, and is probably their most iconic to me. Because a lot of people like Space, and I kind of fucking hate Space, to be honest. But this one was actually a hit, and I think it's just really damn good. Like, The Astronaut and I Woke Up in a Car fight for my favorite Something Corporate song, to be honest. I listened to them both quite a bit. I'm not sure if you saw on there, but it is the Adam Young remix. Do you guys remember who Adam Young is? So Adam Young is Owl City. Owl City. So you have to understand, from these are like my two favorite artists of all time, Andrew McMahon and Adam Young. So Adam Young of Owl City did a remix of one of Andrew's songs, and I can't fucking find any information about how it happened. There's no making of the album or any shit. Like, did they contact Adam? Was Adam like, oh, I love this song, I want to do this? I need to fucking know. If I ever meet Adam Young, or like he's at some panel or something, I need to ask questions and be like, can you tell me more about this? Or like if I meet Andrew too, like holy shit, I tried to look up information on this. I wanted to tell the story. I want to know about the story myself. I couldn't find anything. This is the most amazing thing to ever happen. My two favorite artists come together. It's fucking amazing, and no one can tell me how it happened. This is the struggle, but yeah, I was considering last time playing regular I Woke Up in a Car, and then I remembered that this existed, and then it was like, oh, this would just be so much better to do. And it's going to start a fun progression where we're kind of going to go through the periods of Andrew's projects, because this is a Something Corporate song, and then I've got a Jack's Mannequin, and then a In the Wilderness song to do, and then there's an Owl City song after that, so that's fun. But yeah, this is a really good remix. I'm really, really fond of it. And just, I have here. I keep forgetting show and tell time. No one's reminding me. Play it. This was magical. Matt, I think I grabbed this before I grabbed the albums individually, or like if I had the albums already, I grabbed this anyway, because this was a big deal to me. And it, as I said, it was 2010, so like I was playing like fucking Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and listening to this to put that in perspective for you. But yeah, if you need the physical evidence of it, Adam Young remix. You can read it there. Fucking incredible. And this was early Adam Young too. This was his second Owl City album, wasn't out yet. He had Ocean Eyes and the stuff before that. So he was already big after Fireflies, but aside from that, I think he had like maybe his Sky Sailing album was out. So this is like early Adam Young Owl City stuff. He's since done a lot of remixes, like, well, he's done covers too, even, but there was the All-Star remix that we did, I want to say the first showcase, but this is a fucking magical moment for me, and it bothers me that I can't find any information on how it happened, and I would absolutely love to know how it happened. If you have any information, please call. Please tell me. You post this on YouTube, and then someone's just like, hey, I'm the production manager for fucking Played in Space, the best of Something Corporate. Here's how it happened. It's like, oh my god, thank you. I need that shit. Please reach out to me any way you can if you have any information, or if you or a loved one have mesothelioma. Not that part. I don't care about that. I'm sure someone does, but I need to know more about this. It is amazing. But for now, I'm just going to share it with you, because I have to, given my history with both of these artists. It was an amazing thing to find on there. It was a treat. Oh man. Okay, anyway. For this one, We are going to... So I could have sworn that this was a custom skin, but apparently it's something that's just in the game. It's called the Inner City, and it's like the Dusk skins, but it's kind of more futuristic themed, and with the whole like car thing, like it's still technically a vehicle, but it matches, like the futuristic nature of it leans a little more into like the Adam Young Owl City influence that, or just like the influence an electronic remix would bring. And I think it's really cool, but apparently no one made it. At least, like, no custom, like, workshop people. Apparently it's just in the game. But it's still a cool one. I think it doesn't exactly have a day-night cycle like the Sunset, Airy Sunset one I did before, but I think it turned, like, in low parts of the song, it's more like sunset looking, and then, like, when the song gets more intense, it looks more like daytime. So I think it just gets, like, brighter, but like slightly changes the time of day, I think. But it's still a really cool skin. Unfortunately can't credit anyone other than just the people that made Audiosurf 2. Thank you. It's a good game. It's a good game. I play 150 hours and I'm still playing like fucking 10 plus years later. Dear God. Yeah, so we're doing the Adam Young Owl City remix of I Woke Up in a Car, which was originally a Something Corporate song. Alright, so continuing with that fun little progression that I mentioned, we're continuing through Andrew McMahon projects. So we're going to Jack's Mannequin, which was the project that he had after Something Corporate. This is from the People and Things album, so the same album that had Amy I, which we played last time. An album that I really, really enjoyed. Like, I didn't hype it up anywhere near as much as The Glass Passenger, but I ended up liking it more. Maybe, perhaps because of that, I don't know. But just a lot of really solid tracks in there that I really enjoy. And this is one of them. Perhaps a little more thought-provoking lyrics than Amy I. People Running, and again, this is one of those albums where like every single song on the album has like an official visualizer, not necessarily a music video, but something that someone made that may or may not mirror the message and symbolism in the song. But I do recommend checking them out. I think this one was like stop motion or claymation or something with like a homeless guy on a bench or something like that. But the Amelia Jean one is pretty good. It's very furry inclined if you're of that persuasion. But just really cool imagery and stuff with it, and it's just a really good song. I don't think it's the right kind of song to play in here, but I could be very wrong about that. I might try that at a later time too. But for now, we're doing People Running, which is pretty energetic and just a fun song. Like some good instrumentals and stuff in here. Like the message is good. It's like we're all just people running. We're all just people, and we do be running. And you'll see. But yeah, for this one, this one's fun because I'm sorry if that breathing was weird. This one's fun because for the longest time, I have had a Mirror's Edge skin in here, and I never felt it all that appropriate to use. But I like it with this one because there, wouldn't you know it, in the skin there is in fact a person running. so there's that. Also, I did discover that this skin also has like the day-night cycle, like Airy Sunset does. So it does eventually turn to nighttime, and it's got a real, kind of a real pretty skyline down below that gets all lit up with that too. That looks really nice. So there's a little extra to it. There's a little extra to it, and it's fun. I think the Mirror's Edge games are on EA Play, and I've like never checked them out, and I should, because I can play them for free, because I have EA Play as part of Game Pass. Yeah, I probably should check them out at some point. But yeah, I'll give you 3 guesses who made this one. It's Simon Evo. Perhaps one of the like lesser polished ones I've seen from them, but it's still kind of fun. If you're a big Mirror's Edge fan, maybe you get more out of it than I do. But it like the day-night cycle is interesting. I didn't realize it had that at first. There's a little bit of extra stuff to it with like the skyline down below and everything. It's nice enough. I'm kind of fortunate I finally found a use for it. But I like it with this. So we're gonna do "People Running" by Jack's Mannequin off People and Things. And thank you so much, Simon Evo, for all your work. Thank you for your service. I really want to know how many hours you have in Audiosurf 2, but Steam wouldn't show me. So, I don't know how I find out. And do you still play? I think I saw Sirgalicious still had some playtime recently. I was like, ooh, cool. 'Cause you never know. It's an old game. Continuing with the Andrew, we move on to his next and his current project. I forgot to show another album, but it's another one I showed last time, so I think we're good. His current project, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness. Because he's figuring shit out, I don't know. We've done some from this in the past. I know we did Synesthesia. I forget if we did another Wilderness song last time or something. Maybe not. Maybe I focused on the older projects, which I tend to do. But I do. This was another album that I really I did hype this one up decently, and I do really like it. It helps that so this was the second album, Zombies on Broadway. This was the second album of the Wilderness project. He's up to like 4, 5 now. I think, but yeah, I was decently excited for this. It helped that the first single that got released for this album, Fire Escape, I instantly loved more than a lot of the stuff that I had heard from the original album. Like, I liked it a lot more than Cecilia and the Satellite, honestly. And so, like, really good first impression, but looked into the album and stuff some more. As a reminder, or if you forgot or haven't heard, Andrew McMahon's big interesting thing is he was diagnosed with leukemia back in 2005, around the time that his first album with Jack's Mannequin came out. And so that first Jack's Mannequin album is called Everything in Transit, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time, by the way. It's really big themed around California is the thing with that. And so Andrew has said in interviews that the original plan after that album was to kind of do an album from a different perspective. So instead of California, it would be from the perspective of New York. Unfortunately, that kind of fell through. He didn't want to do that immediately after the leukemia stuff. He did get better, by the way, if you can't tell from him continuing to do stuff to this day. But he didn't want to do that immediately after recovering because a lot of his chemo and like a lot of his time spent sick was spent in New York. So it wouldn't be very it wouldn't be very fair to do that. But I bring that up because when he did this album, this is kind of the New York album that he never got to do back in the day, and that made it a lot more interesting to me. I think there's still some of that in some of the like cynical nature from the treatment and stuff in there, but I don't think it's as strong as it would have been. He would have been like, fuck New York, I'm fucking sick and die. I don't know. But he would have found a more interesting way to do it, but it probably would have been a lot worse. But I don't know, just this was a very like experimental album, I thought, for him. Like the Wilderness project as a whole is very like modernized. Like it's a very modernized sound compared to what he normally does. Like we just played a Something like we've just gone through the history a little bit. The Something Corporate song was a remix, but it's very it's normally very like rock oriented. And then the Jack's Mannequin song, like Jack's Mannequin just focused on like just really solid instrumentals, and like it was just mixed better. There's no like thrashing guitar or anything like that. But the sound is just really solid, and then the vocals are really thought-provoking and stuff in a lot of ways. And then the Wilderness, I mean, Wilderness still has some interesting lyrics and stuff, but it's mainly served to modernize his sound quite a bit, I think, while he's on his own out in the wilderness, naked and afraid, or whatever the hell he's doing. But this is he's had several albums under this project now, and I do think this one's my favorite. It has a lot of interesting stuff on it. Even more experimentation like within the sound the project has provided. Like there's a lot more like EDM pilled tracks in this, I think. This is kind of one of them, and it's just a really, really catchy, really fun song, I think. Another one that's kind of always in my head, like the drop or like the music, like what the instrumentals do in between, or like at the highlights, or it just really infectious, I think. So hopefully this is another earworm that gets stuck in your head a little bit, because it's really fun. There, again, as I've said before with like others, there are probably more deep, more thought-provoking Wilderness songs than this, but this one's just like really good, really fun. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking this album out, because a lot of interesting sounds and stuff, and then just a lot of really good things in his normal sound. Like Dead Man's Dollar is one of my favorite, and one of my favorite Wilderness songs, and Birthday Song is really good too. Just he's almost like beating himself up about the profession that he has and the things he's missing and what he's doing to himself, and just like that. You end the album with that. Like that's like I live for that powerful stuff, you know. And it's there's really good stuff in this album. And as you can see with that album art there, it calls out to the astronaut. He needs some of what they got. And then also there's that here. This will also be relevant. You know, I just thought of this. This will be relevant because in our WWE stuff that we do, we make a few like musical artists, and like we have Ben Burnley, the lead singer of Breaking Benjamin, and we also have Andrew McMahon in our brand, and he comes out wearing the fucking astronaut outfit. It's perfect. It's great. He's gonna come out looking like that. Orb, it's technically his helmet, but it's kind of that persuasion. But yeah, it's a cool album. I definitely recommend it. I hope you enjoy this song, which is a little more electronic pilled. I had trouble finding something for this one, but I Space Orb, yeah, kind of. I had trouble finding a good skin for this one, but I knew I really wanted to play the song. I had, so like the silly choice. The silly choice would be to do Bullet Bill, because bullet bills are shot out of cannons. That is the name of the song. But Bullet Bill really doesn't transform or react to the song very much, and I needed some more of that. I don't know if I mentioned that the song is shot out of a cannon, but it's down there. And then there's, where's the other one? I saw what we're actually doing, but there's another one. I was messing around with, I almost went with, where the hell is it? I almost went with Light Shaft, which does look really cool. The camera's really far away from it though, so it's not all that effective to play. But it does have some cool visuals that come out of it. I needed a little something else though, and so I ended up with Large Hadron Collider, which if you imagine like a bullet being shot out of like a very curvy cannon, or like a very curvy barrel of a gun, is basically the thought process there. Like a ball bearing in there, you know? That's the logic I went. Now I'm like Mandela affected, because I thought this was a pack-in with the game, but this one's custom. So I flip-flopped this in the inner city apparently. But this was made by, it's another collab, Lemniscata and Simon Evo. So Simon Evo had a hand in this. Space Tube, yeah, exactly. I guess the like astronaut angle and like science and stuff, I guess that kind of works too. So there you go. But yeah, it works well enough. Some interesting colors and stuff, and it's shiny. I don't know. But yeah, Lemniscata and Simon Evo made this one. Thank you two so much. And this is Shot Out of a Cannon by Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness to finish off the Andrew trilogy. Here we go. Alright, we got 5 more songs, guys. We're in the home stretch. In the home stretch. Alright. Okay, so yeah, we started with an Andrew song remixed by Adam, and then we did 2 Andrew songs, and now we're gonna go to an Adam song to tie it all back in and finish that. Alright, but yeah, we're going back to, yeah, back on the subject of Owl City songs that I really think non-Owl City fans should listen to, because there's like a lot of surprising stuff in there. Like, did you know that Adam Young and Owl City did a song with Mark Hoppus of Blink-182? And this is funny because some fucking record label executive guy was like, hey, you kind of sound like the other singer of Blink-182. Why don't let's make this happen? It'll be good for sales. And that must have been how it happened. But he's kind of right a little bit. But this is this is from the Midsummer Station album. You may know it as the album with the song that should not be named, but I'm gonna name it anyway. Good Time with Carly Rae Jepsen. This is unfortunately Adam's SMH, you sold out, man. This isn't the Owl City. I know, like, it's honestly depressing listening to like the lyrics and the descriptive vocals of previous albums, and then listening to Dreams and Disasters on this album, just like, oh my god, what happened? There's a lot, some cringe stuff on this album, but there are a few standouts regardless. I really like Gold I think Gold is a really nice track. There's another one. Embers and Silhouette are decent. I think Metropolis is pretty nice. It's pretty catchy, at least. But yeah, it was a dark time for the Owl City fans. I think he's even admitted that this was like the, oh yeah, we need more. This is I'm selling out to get more album sales because it's needed type thing. But some interesting collaborations came with it. Carly Rae Jepsen is whatever, but yeah, it's unfortunate because I think this album has my favorite album art of any Owl City album. I mean, you can see it over there as well, probably better than I'm holding it up right now, but I do own it. But yeah, the album art's really cool, and it just sucks that the album as a whole isn't. I like the color on the disc too, that's nice. That's nice. But yeah, just there's a couple silver linings to this overall cringe album, and this is one of them. This is like a really cool collab. And it kind of works, and it's fairly simple in terms of like the guitar part and stuff, but I think the drum part is really fun, honestly. It's I did learn it for a time, like the drum part during the verses is really cool. I'm a big fan of it. And it's a neat song, and just like telling people who don't know about this that this is a thing, and they maybe double take and go, what? And it's like, yeah, this happened. And I'm not sure how many people know about it, but it's a pretty neat thing. If Blink-182 was my other favorite band, instead of Andrew's stuff, I would be desperate for information on how this happened too. But I did the hypothetical. I'm pretty sure that's how it went, and it doesn't merit further investigation. But yeah, I had a slightly tough time with this one as well. I ended up going with Full Focus, which is just kind of a little weird looking. I need to rip like my crossfade CD, because this skin looks made for crossfade. If you've seen that crossfade album art, like I need to do that at some point. But we're using it with Dementia for now. But yeah, I don't know. It's got like the red, and it's got like tribal rings. I don't know, it's just a weird little insane looking. But then it does get some color to it when the music picks up, and so it's kind of like it starts with like the rock drums and stuff, and then like the Owl Cityness comes in, and then the color gets added, and there's something to it that way. So yeah, and this is made by Skipper Zip. I think we've had something from Skipper Zip before, but thanks so much for this one. This one's interesting. Alright, but we're doing Dementia by Owl City and Mark Hoppus. So we're returning to Coldplay now. Let me get that other Coldplay song. Also from Milo Gelato. I'm done with show and tell, unfortunately. We're only returning to albums. Excuse me. Yes, this one. I remember maybe even playing this one in Audiosurf 1. Because I think I did still hold on to Audiosurf 1 a little bit, because I think overall it was a little more bouncy, and I think the timing of when you hit the notes is a little bit more on point in Audiosurf 1. I think I still have like a negative review for Audiosurf 2, like it'll never feel as good as 1, I think is what I said. And I mean, Unfortunately, Audiosurf 1 started crapping out, like it needs some kind of codec to play songs from iTunes or some shit like that, which is where most of my audio library is, and so it's just like, never mind. But yeah, unfortunate. But Audiosurf 2 does have the workshop stuff, and so it's always fun to mess around with. And I've made peace with it. I've fully moved on, and here we are. But not necessarily related to this song, but I do think Coldplay is one of those artists that are just big enough where, like, even if you don't like Coldplay, you have a Coldplay song that you like. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's gotta have one. Everyone's gotta have one. But this is another one that I found and liked from Milo Gelato. It almost sounds, this is gonna sound weird, but it almost sounds like a fake song. Like if someone was trying to like make a derivative Coldplay song, it would sound like this. I don't know. It's still good, but the song almost sounds surreal. That's like a positive way to put it, I suppose. Because I don't mean to berate it that much, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. But it was another pretty good one I found off of Milo Gelato here. Named Milo Eatin' Gelato. Didn't they make some kind of Milo the Gelato? Yeah, something like that. I think there's some kind of like comic book series along with this that probably informs a lot of the songs. I never looked into that though. There's a lot of like Resistance sounding stuff going on in Hurts Like Heaven, and then also there's the stuff of like they got, I remember them getting mad when people were like happy and like dancing to Every Teardrop Is a Waterfall when it's supposed to be like a depressing song. It's a really damn good song either way. But yeah, so I should probably look into that, some stuff. They've done some interesting stuff. There was rumor about like their last one, Music of the Spheres, being their last album, but I don't think that's true anymore. I think they're still going. But yeah, this is another fun one. I as I mentioned, I remember playing this one a long time back in the day, and I'm glad to have it back. Kind of just doing a basic skin with this. I think we did Horizon Blossom before for Look at the Sky. Was that last time? I think that was last time. But we're just doing regular Horizon this time, which again was one that I thought was just a pack-in, but it is not. It's custom. This was made by Kaon, Kaon. Thanks, Kaon. This one's nice. It's pretty. Just like up in the sky, shit happens, you know, and you gotta take care of it. But yeah, this is Don't Let It Break Your Heart by Coldplay, another side track off of Milo Gelato. Hope you like it. So yeah, that Coldplay song kind of like broke away and faded out, and then this Keen song is going to pick it back up. So despite the perhaps implying that some bad things may happen to some people in the Frog Prince, it is a nicer sounding song, I think we would say. Where this is the more like serious Keen song from the album. I think it's technically a hit. I just don't recall paying attention to it back in the day, but going back to that live concert DVD that I have, they made an enormous deal about this song. Like they revealed it's apparently a play on an old poem about like World War I or World War II soldiers. And they even had like a friend of theirs who's part of another band or something come out and read the poem beforehand. There was some like really thoughtful imagery playing in the background of like ballroom dancing, but they all had gas masks on. Like, it was really interesting. It was a big deal, and the song just hit, dude. Trust me. It was crazy. And I really like the song now. How could I not after all that? But yeah, we're doing, this is perhaps the, I don't know, these last three are gonna hit hard, hopefully. So, but yeah, this one's pretty serious, but really cool. And for this one, another skin that I've been holding on to for a really long time, and I don't think I've used. And hopefully it works, because it does seem a little more intensive than others. I've had these unknown ones for a while. There is an ultimate one, but I'm not risking that. Because we tried Prismatic Night, and that shit didn't go well. But yeah, we're going to try the Unknown Simplistic, which I kind of like because... oh, people have played this too, that's cool. Again, hearkening to the fact that I think it was a hit off of the album. But I kind of like the simplistic one because there's a lot of like trimmings and stuff on the sides normally, I think, but this gives you a better view of the crazy looking background here. So you can enjoy that. Just all the random question marks, that's fun. But yeah, it's just really, again, just really like weird, almost unsettling vibes. Gonna be like, it's a bad dream, and then it's like, what's more fearful than the unknown? And things we don't understand, and all that. I tried more fitting stuff, like I have a plane ride one, but it was not morbid enough, I suppose, where this one's a little dark and broody and mysterious. So I think it fits a little bit better, maybe Bad Dreamish. But this one's made by Epicus Jones, which we've had stuff from before. They're another big one, I feel. But thanks, Epicus. This one's really cool. I've had it such a long time, and I have not used it this whole time. I'm not really sure why. I guess I'm partially afraid that it might not run very well, but we'll see. Lifting the mood back up a little bit, potentially. We're returning to Forever the Sickest Kids and their fun sound. Oh, that's still the most recent. Okay, nice. Alright. Still from Underdog Alma Mater, because I don't have another album from them, unfortunately. But this was the first song that I ever heard from Forever the Sickest Kids. This is the one I've been recommending. If Forever the Sickest Kids was a new console, this would be their killer app. This is the song, just absolutely iconic 2000s pop punk. I feel like the riffs, like the main riff to the song is just, it's just such a great feeling of yes, I love it so much. And then like I was mentioning before in The Way She Moves, just like the midsection that like elevates the song further and reinforms that chorus when it comes back in. It's that's all here too. This is, I think this is like the best that they do it, and that's why I've held off on it this long. But yeah, if you try and go watch the music video for this, they absolutely butchered the song to like depressing levels. So don't do it. Don't give the music video attention. They did have an EP before this. So the version of She's a Lady I heard was actually the original EP version, which at one point I thought was mixed better, or like actually sounded better in sections than this one. But I went back and listened to it in part of like preparing for this, and I'm kind of indifferent to it now. It's kind of like either one is fine. Another one is Breakdown, that I really like, and I think maybe that one's a little bit better in the original mix. But the ones that carried over from the EP, this one and Believe Me I'm Lying, I think Believe Me I'm Lying is actually noticeably better over here finally. Like, I mean, the mixings and everything are obviously better, but there are ways they do some things, like there's a full stop in this song very briefly, and I think that was the thing. I think it's done slightly better in the original, or it's more noticeable. But I don't think it detracts from the song all that much. It's still a fantastic track, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So for this one, doing another slight deep cut, I'm going to use my mouse pad left-handed, apparently. It should be up here if I played it. Yeah, there it is. We're doing Neon Colors, which I originally used back for the Mazare song Stay. I forget who the featured vocalist is, I'm sorry about that. But I really liked the heavenly glow that this really gets on the sides when things really pick up, and it's definitely here. The big thing here is I was really looking for something that does the midsection breakdown correctly, or the best way. And this has like a blue bass, and so like everything turns blue when the breakdown happens, and it's awesome. I love that. So this was definitely the one for me. Had a tough time finding the right one for this. I was juggling, what was I about to use? I was juggling Blackout, which I used for Annie by Safety Suit earlier. And I think just like Album Drive or something. Like I really wasn't finding it, but I think this is the one. I think this is the one. It is a repeat, unfortunately, but it's been a while since we used it. And this is by Virus, which is all caps except for the I. So thanks, Virus. This one's really, really cool, actually. Big fan of this one. We are at the climax, the climactic finale of the night. We're returning to Say Anything's Is a Real Boy. For, yes, here it is down here. Admit It, which has how many? Is that 3 exclamation points? Yes. It's that serious. But yeah, no, this song is epic. I will put it that way. Like, the first half of it is like a full-blown rant. Like, the guy is not singing the verses whatsoever, doing entire fucking paragraphs before we move on to the next verse. And just a lot of colorful vocabulary. So you're gonna hear one of my favorite sentences of all time. Prototypical nonconformist, you are a vacuous soldier of the thrift store Gestapo. That's the type of shit you're in for. And it's amazing. And then just when you think you have the song figured out, it does like a verse and two verses, 2 choruses, and then it changes and gets good. Like, you think you heard what the chorus is, and you're like, oh no, actually that's the chorus. And it's awesome. And then it's an extensive song. It's about 6 minutes, so strap in for that. Not any crazy like 10-minute Coldplay song. Although if I do Constantine in a later time, that's like 9 minutes. But I don't know. I don't know about doing Constantine. But yeah, this song is pretty epic. I could think of no better finale, honestly. It's a really, really fun song. It's so great. This is it's the end track on the actual album disc of Is a Real Boy. So minus the extra like 5-song disc, this is considered the final track of the official record, I suppose. And boy, is it a finale. Did have a little bit of trouble with this one too. I'm gonna tell you what I was almost doing. I almost went back to Undertale's God of Hyperdeath. I'm not sure it fit the song super well, but I kind of liked something about, with like the boss in front of you, it was almost like you're standing on trial being accused of all the things that they're saying, or inversely like defending yourself with these things. And I kind of thought that was neat. But I did end up going in a different direction. Aside from that, I did just want to mention that. So I went with Retrowave Halloween, which we have not done since the first showcase when I played Lycanthropy, Sabrewulf's theme from Killer Instinct 2013, on here. I think it's pretty relevant, even though it's not October. But because a lot of it's ranting, and they're like side things instead of like the light posts or trees or other things that some highways have. One of the variants of this skin has a bunch of trees with faces, and I kind of saw that as like as we're passing all these trees, they're like saying all these things, and we're driving trying to get away from them or something like that. There's also a mention of my car and my guitar, which if I went with God of Hyperdeath, it wouldn't be relevant because there's no car in there. And there's a car in here, so it might not hit as hard as maybe Undertale God of Hyperdeath would have, but I do still stand by my decision of, what was it, Particle Arts by Virtual Self being like the song to play Undertale God of Hyperdeath to, aside from maybe like actual Undertale soundtrack stuff and whatever music actually plays during that fight. But you know what I mean. And then of course, all the retro waves were done by Simon Evo. Once again, we're not worthy. But yeah. But no, these are iconic. Even the New Year's one that I held out on for a while eventually swayed me. So all of these retro wave skins are really cool. And pretty much everything Simon Evo has done has been pretty cool. I wonder what they're doing these days. I hope they're okay. But yeah, we're gonna finish off the night with Admit It by Say Anything. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it satisfies your edge and not your Christian. Okay. I'm gonna have to go check. I'm gonna have to see how like audio and everything worked out this time, because it's different. It's different, but it might have to be this way because like going back and listening to like how the mic on that HyperX Stinger sounds is not all that great. It's undeniably easier just plug it, like having the headset 2-in-1 and then able to easily mute myself, but this is higher quality stuff. This is, and this is, so. But yeah, I'll get this edited down for YouTube eventually. It took a few months last time, but it wasn't an especially long playlist last time. This one's a little bit shorter. I do need to... I need to temper the list down, and hopefully the next one won't be as long. But I started at a reasonable time. We're done before midnight for me, so great. Yay. That's wonderful. We're done at like normal time, basically, and we didn't go over. I think it was like 1:30 for me last time because of how I didn't start all that early either, but man, we did it. We did it this time. It was reasonable. Everything worked out. I don't know, the blurb situation. I do appreciate you guys being respectful with the blurbs. Thank you very much for that. If more people show up, I fear maybe they won't be as respectful. Thank goodness that raid came in when it did. If that came in the middle of a song, I would have been like, well, we're replaying the song because the 30-second thing played over it. These are special to me. I appreciate you humoring me. Being here and respecting the boundaries that I set with the blurbs and everything. I do appreciate it. But yeah, that is it for tonight. We'll start on the 4-stream weekly format next week and have some more fun that way. And I look forward to seeing everybody there. But in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out with me or watching at a later time. Way later time if it's the edited down version. And I will see you next time. Good night, guys.